Right, you guys make sure you like this video and subscribe to Mike's, okay? Make sure. If you don't subscribe to Mike, you're gonna have a fat forehead and a big hairline.
Boom, I'm with the guy Max inside. Subscribe to him, make sure you do still. Best content coming out. You know how it is.
Hello and welcome back to another live, people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're smashing the likes and subscribing if you are new. Back again for the GVO show, people. Back again. And yeah, another Monday and the season is finally, it's over. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just glad it's over. Quickly explain that intro song. It felt like I was in an arcade, bruv. Shout out to Passive. Those are beats produced by Passive. The first one is just, yeah, it's like, he said basically, here's my SoundCloud, here's all the non-copyright beats. So use some of them. So I thought, fuck it. This one. Like, and it's bassline. Like, can't go wrong with a bit of bassline. But listen, Alfie, bro. How you been, man? How you been? What's good, man? The season's over, bro. We can rest.
Thank fuck for that. Thank fuck for that. It's been such a roller coaster this season, honestly. The lows outweigh the highs, in my opinion, but I'm just glad I can chill for the next 3-4 months.
Honestly, the same. And don't worry, we've got the transfer window to stress over, so we don't rest, do we? We don't rest, especially our two clubs. Fucking hell, man. I'm finished. But yeah, listen, obviously, before we get into everything, hope everyone that is at the Liverpool parade is okay. I saw the whole incident and stuff, so listen, like, it's pathetic that some people have to go ruin it, innit? But yeah, I hope everyone's okay at the very least. But I saw the scenes in terms of like the celebration and stuff, and it's like good to see you, man, finally got to celebrate sign in front of the peoples and that. But yeah, listen, let's get straight into it. Alfie, I guess we'll start with you. But my season's been over for time. I feel like you feel like your Premier League season has been over for time. I mean, well done on beating a relegated Southampton.
Yeah.
Like, I bet at that point you're just like, fuck this season, man.
Honestly, like, fair enough, we got the 3 points, but then again, it wasn't really a good performance in terms of what we could do. Happy that Kieran Tierney got his last goal for the club on his last game. I'm glad that he managed to get that done. But I find it funny how it's taken till match day 38 for Martin Odegaard to take a shot from outside the box. Like, why has it taken so long? But it's only now when the season's over that he decides to turn up. All I'm saying is I want to see that next season from him. Otherwise, get gone. Simple as that. Like, he needs to be doing that more often. He's got the quality to shoot from outside the box. I just don't understand why he never does it. But we got the 3 points. Fair play. And like I said, now we can chill for 3-4 months until August.
Yeah, I said no more GVO shows for 2 months. But we've got something better.
Yeah.
We've got something better coming up. Well, I'm not going to say anything too much because I don't know when we're going to do it. But you just keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes and your ears peeled. But,
exactly.
Bro, I can't lie. When I'm seeing, like, every time you lose, like, you're linked with a player, you're in advanced talks. I feel like the Zubimendi Here We Go was a thing, and I haven't heard about that thing since. And all of that. So, like, I don't know what's going on there. You're linked with Sesko, Gyökeres, and then, man, do you think Arsenal are going to start being active now, or do you think all the PR stunt?
Well, 9 times out of 10, it is usually a PR stunt from Arsenal, but I'm hoping that I am wrong this time, and they are going to be a lot more active when it comes to signing players. Fair enough, we may have got the Zubimendi deal done, but like you said, we haven't heard a peep since. So, whether you can find the truth behind that, I don't know, but hopefully it is a done deal. As far as getting a striker is concerned, I'm obviously backing the signing of Gyökeres because I feel like it's more of a sure thing. But it looks like Arteta's leaning more towards Sesko. But that's where him and Berta are going to have a sit down and talk about who they actually want up front next season.
I mean, fair enough. Like, my whole thing is, if you bring in a director of football and you don't go with his preference of signing, what's the point of bringing in a director of football?
True.
Like, why is Arteta still, trying to put his balls on the table sort of thing when it comes to the transfers? Like,
I mean, I'm not being funny. He could get away with that when Eddie was director of football, but now you've got someone in that's actually knows what they're doing when it comes to signing players. He's very prolific at signing strikers, whether they're good strikers, bad strikers. I mean, he signed Suarez for Atletico for like £5 million. They went on to win the league that season. So he clearly knows what he's doing when it comes to signing players. So I think if we are going to have any success next season, I feel like Arteta needs to let go of the reins a little bit, allow Berta to have more control in terms of who walks through the door, and then we should be fine. But that all depends on whether Arteta is willing to let go of the reins.
yeah, I hear that. I feel like for me, Arteta's too controlling to work with a director of football, despite the fact that he's a young manager that's like you're meant to be a part of that director of football model sort of thing. You're meant to be automatic when it comes to that thing.
Yeah.
Like that's how I see it. Like I feel like he thinks he's actually better than this, where he could go and identify the talent himself. Brinkman, you're just a manager. Just go and tell them the profile of player you want, and they'll go and get it for you. That's how it's meant to be nowadays. But nowadays, all I'm seeing is manager wants this and director of football wants this. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like like my whole thing is as well. Like with Arsenal, if you're that close, you should be just getting your deals done now and getting them integrated into pre-season, because you ain't got Club World Cup, so you've actually got a bit more time than other teams. That's how I see it. Like, you want your new signing straight in before pre-season.
Yeah.
Like, you guys need to address, like, bare positions. But also, Damien asked the question, who's your left wing and striker preferences? He said Charlie, but he meant you.
I think obviously we're hearing that we're linked with Rodrigo. Whether that will come to anything, I don't know. But as far as strikers are concerned, I think it's Gyökeres for me. Fair enough. Sesko wouldn't be a bad option, but I feel like Gyökeres, like I've said many times before, is more of a sure thing, simply because he played in England before, knows the pace of the game, doesn't really need that much time to get integrated into playing English football. Whereas with Sesko, you're going to need at least a year to see whether he's up to the standards of the English game. But just go and get someone, Arsenal. Simple as that. Like, we've been wanting a striker for how long? We've not got one. We've pissed about buying players, hoping to turn them into strikers like Havertz, buying left back, buying centre backs to play at left back, getting to a point where we're having to play a centre midfielder up front, and it's not worked out. Obviously, fair enough. Mourinho's done a good job there, but he's not a striker. You need an out-and-out number 9 if you're going to get goals next season. I know we like to share the goals around between the front three and the attacking players in the midfield, but to go on and win trophies and be successful, you need a bagsman, and I just hope we go out and get one.
Yeah, I think, what's it, Dave said Joan Garcia's going Barca. He said fuck off Arsenal. Like, I swear you and man were interested in him.
Yeah, we were linked with Joan Garcia, the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I mean, if he's going Barca, we're going to need to look at someone else to bring in. As to who we get, fuck knows. I mean, at this point, we might even leave it so late that we'll end up getting Neto on another loan for next season. And I do not want that at all. But just go and get a deal done, please. Because I'm sick and tired of us being the nearly man. I'm sick and tired of being the bridesmaid. I want to be the bride for once. I want to win the trophies. But you need to bring in the right caliber of player to do that. And we haven't done it for years. So I feel like I know for a fact we're not going to sack Arteta. Because the ownership ain't competent enough to sack him, and there's no way that Arteta is going to walk of his own accord. No manager is going to walk away from 15 million a year. So as far as I'm concerned, going into next season, he's got till Christmas, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, like, I just don't understand your club, even from an outside perspective.
Like,
I know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I can feel your pain when it comes to like what you expect of your club and and the way your club move. I think it's even more pain when there's expectation and you're so close to the matter. I think it makes it even worse when it's like that. That's how I see it, because the reason why, if you're that close, is you're even more frustrated because you actually, like, you can feel it. You can feel the victory right there. But then again, it makes it even worse now because you're further away this year than you were the previous two, like points tally wise, and the fact that it was a different team. It's not like the Man City team. It was a Liverpool team that were really good, but not as good as the Man City teams that you came up against.
I mean, Jamie Carragher said it himself. I think the whole thing with Arsenal and the fact that they're so pissed right now is the fact that they've seen that it's Liverpool that's ahead of them and it's not City, because we've seen how far City have dropped off this season and we've been nowhere near. I mean, this was the time, if any time, with this City drop off, this was the time to go and capitalise, and we just haven't done it. In fact, like you said, we've gone even further back. We were 11 points behind towards the end of the season. And Liverpool have run away with the league. We kind of already knew by November that Liverpool were going to win the league. I said myself after we lost 2-0 to Bournemouth that we were out of the race, and I wasn't wrong. But it is painful to be an Arsenal fan. It really, really fucks with my mental health being an Arsenal fan. I'm not going to lie to you. Honestly, this club, it drains me. I feel like, especially this season, like my first season doing football content, and it's drained me more this season than it has any other.
How do you think I feel? My team just finished 14th. Bruv, I did a season review today about West Ham and it ended up being a 30-minute run. A 30-minute run. Like, bro, I could... Like, it was meant to be a short upload. It was meant to be, like, 12 minutes max. I went on for 30 minutes talking about this club. Talking about, like, end-of-season stuff. Like... My problem is, I actually despise the transfer window from my perspective. I don't mind it as a neutral, seeing who other people are going to sign. I find it interesting who Man City and Liverpool are going in for at this current moment in time. They're active very early and stuff. But I do not care. I do not care. Not the fact that I do not care. I don't want to see West Ham are in talk. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to do this again where I'm like, West Ham are in talks with a player. Like, I don't care. I do not care. Jonathan said Alfie will be joining you in the Champions League next season. Obviously, Chelsea fans are gassed.
Fair play to Chelsea. They did really well against Nottingham Forest yesterday. Funnily enough, Levi Cole will get in the goal. Obviously, Prime's going to have mixed feelings about that because we all know his feelings on Colwill, but I'm sure he'll be happy to be in the Champions League. Yeah, big up every time. But Chelsea are in the Champions League next season, and with the Champions League, it comes more money. So they're going to have an opportunity to bring in players to bolster their squad and go on this European journey. All that's left for them now is to beat Betis on Wednesday.
Yeah. Big up the chat as always, bro.
By the way, cheeky plug, I will be live this Wednesday for the Conference League watch along. So make sure you join me for that.
Yeah, listen, subscribe to Alfie. Links in the title, people. But yeah, bruv. I can't be asked for the transfer window, man. But we'll get on to Chelsea in a bit. Question to Alfie. Thoughts on the rumours that Berta want Gyökeres and Arteta want Sesko? I think you have kind of addressed it, but...
Yeah, I think for me, like, if there is going to be any sort of success, I feel like the ideas of Berta and Arteta need to be aligned. Like, they need to be going after the same striker. We can't be having this situation where you've got the director of football, we want Gyökeres. Then Arteta's like, no, we'll get Šeško. We can't be having that if we want to be a successful team. Like that, no other team does that. Like, you've got the manager, fair enough. Look at Arne Slot. He'll go out and he'll tell the director of football which players he wants, and then the director of football will go and deal with that. Same with Man City. Same with Chelsea. I don't. To be fair, I don't really know about Chelsea, but with Arsenal, like we need Arteta to let go of the reins if we're going to have any sort of success. Like, we need to let Berta just handle what he needs to handle, and then Arteta just to handle what he does on the pitch. Simple as that. But then again, I will say, we didn't have Arteta on the touchline yesterday against Southampton. We had Airport Albert, and Airport Albert made some changes actually quite early. And I was like, Arteta, take notes. I'm seeing.
Yeah, but Arteta's upstairs.
Yeah,
Arteta's upstairs, probably telling him what to do though. Like, they probably got the earphone.
If they're talking, bro. If that was the case, I'm pretty sure the subs wouldn't have come on until like 70, 80 minutes if it was Arteta. I'm pretty sure Albert had a run of things.
I doubt it. No assistant manager has ever got anything. Like, even when Eddie Howe was ill, he was still calling Tyndall. Like, every manager, when they're upstairs, calls their thing. Like, every manager.
Yeah, I think you never see Arteta make changes early, though. Like, when have you ever seen Arteta make changes early this season?
Because the game don't matter. The game don't matter. That's probably why he did it. The game don't matter, innit? You ain't got anyone to, like, rest. You ain't got anyone to do anything. You ain't got a Champions League fixture midweek. You ain't got anything coming up. That's probably why. Do you know what it is with the Sesko thing? Yeah, like I don't rate him as a player, yeah, and I don't see the attraction of Sesko because I see this guy take more long shots and miss more sitters than a striker ever should. The amount of times, like, I don't watch the Bundesliga week in week out, but when I watch Leipzig in the Champions League and him in the international tournaments, when I see him go through on goal, the amount of chances this guy missed for a striker. I know you can say that about modern day football. This guy don't even look like a striker. He don't even look like a player. The guy is more like he's got a long shot trait as a striker rather than a finishing trait, to put it in gaming terms, to say the least. With Gyökeres, I don't even think he fits Arsenal, but he like in terms of the way Arteta plays. But I see him as the better player. I know some people in the chat don't rate Gyökeres, but it is what it is. I've watched him more at Coventry than I have at Sporting, to be completely honest with you. Every team other than City and Newcastle who's in Europe should be trying to sign him. Oh, with Osimhen, yeah, Osimhen, like, bro, I don't know how more teams don't go for Osimhen, in my opinion. Charlie doesn't watch football on YouTube Shorts. Gyökeres is the next PL flop striker. I think, especially if it goes, I don't know how Arteta wants his strikers to be, because when we've seen Arteta before, he had Aubameyang, then he put Aubameyang on the left. He had Lacazette who dropped deep, and he had Jesus who dropped deep. Maybe he just wouldn't be good with a striker. But maybe you would actually get worse with better players because he's so out of depth with better players. So maybe like the striker is what Arsenal need, but Arteta wouldn't know how to work with the striker. Like I got a feeling whatever striker you sign is going to end up on a wing for some reason. I don't know why. I don't like that. And that's how I see Arteta. I see Arteta as just a bit of a spaz. Yeah, trust Mike's West Ham are fucking Joey Karen Brady picking football manager charge.
I feel like giving Arteta a striker is like giving a 6-year-old an Xbox controller. Like, he doesn't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, I agree. Unless Liverpool sign a striker, the Vert side is going to be a waste next season too, you reckon? I think, do you know what it is? It's only for me going to be a waste if that's their whole budget. If it's a case of they're spending all their money on this guy, on top of Kirkis and Frimpong, and not signing anyone else, I can hear it. But unless they are signing a striker on top of that, then I don't really see the point of it, because if you're signing a creator and the creator gets a no one, there's kind of no point. Because Jota's injury prone, Nunes is going to leave, Gakpo is a good player, but he's kind of injury prone. Luis Diaz is wishy-washy. Mohamed Salah is fantastic. So there's your attacking options. Yeah, he fell out with the manager a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not really worked out for him at Anfield, has it?
No, he's fucking tragic. Jose Mourinho's not the hero. This guy. Glazed Forest, now you pussy holes. Wasn't long ago you had them dribbling down your chin. Alright, might as well get onto that. Forest, Chelsea, and the whole top 4 race in itself. Newcastle lost to Everton, still got top 5. Villa lost to Man United. Bruv, was this the top 5 you expected? Man City, Newcastle, and Chelsea?
I mean, I did expect Newcastle to be there towards the end of the season. Definitely expected City to work their way back in. Didn't expect Chelsea, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought they'd just fall short. But fair play to Chelsea to get in top 4. I find it hilarious that I swear Forest owns another club that's also in Champions League.
Sorry, who?
Forest's owner, the Greek guy.
Yeah, I think Olympiacos owned that, yeah.
Yeah, they were going to be in the Champions League, but because they got Conference League, they actually put him in their little in their post about getting European football next season. So I'm pretty sure they're happy about that, but they would have preferred Champions League, I'm sure. But European nights at the City Ground, got to look forward to it.
Yeah, I think European nights, regardless, is mad. But Charlie did make a good point. If you're like, I know Charlie just hates Forest regardless, but when the perspective of being 3rd for that long, then dropping 7th is going to be gutting regardless. I think you should be happy with European nights. Listen, if you don't win a Conference League, then uncomfortable conversations, and Charlie is going to run around Australia going mad. But like at the same time, they haven't had European nights in fucking ages. I'm not saying it's like a fantastic season or anything, but it's the manner of the way you did it, innit? I don't know whether the camp is all good there because of the whole Nuno and the owner thing, but I don't know what's going on there and stuff. But at the same time, their owner has standards. He tries to throw money at things, and so far it's kind of worked. But they always spend in it, so I'm interested to see how they take their team like further on, in my opinion. Onyedika is of Club Brugge is one of West Ham's top transfer targets. The Hammers are one of many Premier League teams that want to sign the 24-year-old defensive midfielder this summer. Shock, we're going off the midfielders. Who would have thought it? I think I would have. I think I said this 6 months ago.
Who are you guys getting rid of this season or this summer rather?
Fuck knows. I haven't seen a link to anyone that is currently at the club, like that isn't going on a free. I haven't seen a link, which worries me in itself. Like I know who I want to get rid of, but I've been naming a lot of players. But I've not seen a link from anyone that's gonna go for a transfer fee. All I know is the players that are already leaving, like the ones that are leaving on a free. I have no idea who.
Who else?
Ings and Cresswell.
Ings, Cresswell.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, they need to see if they manage to without one this season, but first needs to be feeding a beast. I actually agree with what you might have said about Verts, to be honest with you, because if you're sending a creator, but not sending a striker...
You need a striker up front. Simple
it's like... Only Man City have made it work without a striker when they've not got, like, gone false nine and stuff. And that the difference is De Bruyne was feeding wingers. Like, Verts can feed Salah, but he's going to need more than one person to feed. So, yeah. Remember in the Euros that miss? Yeah, the Sesko miss was mad in the Euros. I'm pretty sure the defender made a mistake as well, and he went through on goal and missed it. That's what made it worse.
That's why the whole thing, why I prefer Gyökeres over Šeško if we're going to buy a striker, simply because you look at the way Šeško plays, he's more of a long shot merchant. Like, he'll take shots from distance. We don't play that way. We look for crosses into the box. We look to play the ball into the danger area. And that's where a player like Gyökeres, with his height, he's got good aerial ability as well. I feel like that's where things look in our favour if we go and get Gyökeres. Like, if you've got a player like that in the middle, as long as you're providing for him, as long as you've got Saka, who's going to be providing from the right-hand side, you've got Ødegaard if he decides to turn up next season, playing the little intricate passes through the defence, Gyökeres will be a good option. I mean, the stats speak for themselves this summer. I know we don't really like to talk about stats, but at the end of the day, he's got, 53 goals this season in a league title winning campaign for Sporting.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the player you want in your team.
Yeah, we'll see if it translates. I think someone should have got him at commentary anyway, because Championship players always step up well, and if teams were smart, they'd be picking up these Championship talents early rather than going to Europe and stuff. But you know what I don't like about, like, teams like Arsenal, for example? They are, like, to Mr. Big Bollocks about trying to get players from the Championship. You might wait till they go Sporting and then it's fashionable. You might could have had him already. You could have had him for a lot cheaper if you're actually going to get him. That's what I'm shocked. He went to Liverpool over City. Setting up early with Rodri protecting your back is surely a creator's dream. I think City didn't pay the money though, like, also as well, because there's no way you're rejecting City for Liverpool, in my opinion. I know Liverpool won the league this season, but look what City have been doing over the years. I feel like Verts for De Bruyne is a perfect, pass the torch. Yeah, just like pass the torch sort of thing. Like, I think Verts gives you something different. Obviously not as good as Prime Kim and De Bruyne, but he gives you something different. Like, I feel like he'd work so well with Erling Haaland. Haaland works well with them kind of creators as well. And I feel like for Liverpool, if they don't get a proper striker, their signing doesn't make any sense. Big up to H as well, my centre back. Big up to H. You want him or you don't get it. Havertz is going to do left winger shifts. Yeah, that also, Damien did ask earlier, who would be your left winger preference?
I mean, I think, as far as I'm concerned, I know I'm hearing things that we're apparently giving Trossard a contract extension. I don't understand it, simply because you look at his age, his legs are going to get worse, he's going to get more and more tired frequently. He's not really a player that you would start in a game. Like, you look at the way that Trossard plays, he's a lot better when he comes off the bench. He's got energy, he's running at tired legs, creating opportunities and things like that. But I think we need to bring in someone new, whether that's Rodrigo, whether that's Nico Williams, Lookman, whoever. I think we need someone to come in and give Martinelli the kick up the backside that he needs, because I feel like over the past couple of seasons, he has got a bit complacent in the way that he plays. It almost feels like he goes into a game thinking he can't be dropped. And I think now you need to bring in someone that's going to put him in jeopardy in terms of keeping that position on the left-hand side. I think I think Rodrigo, yes, he does play on the right for Real Madrid, but I feel like he can alternate and give you the quality that he gives you on his Real Madrid on the right. If you move over to the left, I think you still got the same type of player. But I think I'm not fussed as to who we get on the left wing, just as long as you've got someone that comes in who's giving Martinelli a reason to perform.
I think, well, Blank is a Real Madrid fan for context. Blank's an OG of the channel. If Arsenal sign Rodrigo and throw in a fit, I think, well, Rodrigo naturally is a left winger, I think. But he just plays on the right because of Mbappe and Vinicius and stuff. Yeah. I don't think you're going to sign... Do you think you're going to sign Rodrigo, though? I don't see Rodrigo moving. Because I remember he came out in his Insta story and said, I'm not leaving, or something like, don't believe the reports and all that. So, I don't know what's going to happen with him.
At this point, I'm not really, whether he signs or not, I'm not going to be really fussed. I mean, it would be great if he did sign. It would be a very, very good signing for us. But if we don't, I'm pretty sure that we should have other options that we can go out and get.
Yeah. I've seen them put work so many crosses into the box. That seems like such a good fit. They have no problems in build up. They work about 30 crosses a game. I don't think they're good. Just my opinion. You can tell me because you watch Arsenal more. I don't think you man are good at crosses necessarily, because like crossing in the air. And what I mean by that is like a lot of that is like right hand side reliant. But I also think if it does fall to Sesko, I don't think he's finishing that many chances. Like, and the reason why I say that is because you see, like, even Havertz scores like 12 or some shit, even with how shit he is. I don't think Sesko is scoring more than 12 in the league, and I think Arsenal need more. You can't really get an Isak because realistically, no one can get an Isak off Newcastle because Newcastle are in the Champions League and I'm pretty sure he's still on a big contract, so they're not going to sell him, and I don't think Isak is going to push to leave. So unless you're slapping 150, you're not getting him.
Yeah, there's no way we're going to spend that amount of money on Isak.
Yeah.
No, regardless of how good Isak is, I don't think we're going to splash the cash. And even if we try to put in a bid, Newcastle ain't going to sell him, like you said, because they got Champions League. I think they did say before the end of the season that if we did get Champions League, Isak and Guimaraes ain't going nowhere. And they've got Champions League football next season. So their man are staying. So I think at this point, it is between either Gyökeres or Šeško. As much as I'd like to say Osimhen as well, I don't think we're going to be willing to pay the wages that he's on. I mean, if you look at how much Havertz is on, like, there's no way they're going to go higher than that. But yeah, for me, it's either Gyökeres or Šeško at this point.
Fair. Apparently, Forest fans have been saying the Conference League is below them. I hope they fold as a club. If Forest fans have been saying Conference League is below them, I don't know. They need to give their heads a wobble. They need to give their heads a wobble. I can't lie.
It's above
them. Bro, any part of European football, if you're a club outside the Big Six, any part of European football, just use it as a chance to win a trophy. If you're not going to get Champions League, use the Europa and Conference League to a chance to win a trophy and then capitalise on it. Simple as that.
You don't see Palace saying that the Europa League is below them.
Definitely not, bro. They've won their first trophy in their history.
Yeah, they're buzzing. European nights at Selhurst. That's going to go off.
Yeah. And Damien, you're spot on about this because we were linked with him so many times when he was at Coventry. That's how I knew about it. That's when I started watching him. Every time West Ham were linked with a player in the Championship, I would go and specifically watch their games. Like, I remember when we were linked with Eze, I started watching Eze like years ago before you, like a few months before you moved to Palace. Because we would like...
when he was at QPR?
Yeah. Because I like QPR anyway. So seeing Eze was just like, yeah, cool, this is my guy.
That's the thing with QPR. They always have like those little... like gems, those little ballers in their team. Obviously, they've had Sarabs, Eze. They've now got that Ilias Chair as well.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some good ballers over in West London, but you know, they just it never really works out because the players either fall off or they end up moving to a bigger club.
Yeah.
Or in Sarabs' case, they end up spending most of their time at shisha bars.
Yeah, true. Speaking of centre back, are you running them 5 games before Thursday playoffs? I'm going to have to speak to the guys because of the Conference League final on Wednesday. I know Prime ain't going to be available and stuff. So it's going to be difficult to do all of that. Like, I don't know whether we're going to have time, to be honest. But I'll put in a group chat and see what people are saying, see whether people are free and stuff and when we can do it. But it's going to be difficult to run it midweek. That's why we do it on the weekends all the time. But we'll figure it out, maybe. If not, then... we'll just have to go what it is, sort of thing. Like, it is what it is. But If we have to do everything again, we have to do everything again because we pepper teams anyway.
Bro, as long as we don't come up against that team that we come up against, I swear to God.
What when they didn't want to play?
Yeah, and they kept bringing the goalkeeper out. That was such a drag. Like honestly.
I think that was our first unbeaten session in full, though.
Oh yeah, we didn't even drop points. Like we
did drop points once.
Draw.
I think we went 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're too overpowered. So City reports are saying City are willing to give him time to make his decision. City don't give anyone time, and what I've noticed with them and their transfer targets, unless like they feel that you guarantee one to go to them, they won't go in for you. I remember the situation with Cucurella. They put in a bid. They were like, "We're not going to go over that price." It's with club and player. If it's like personal terms, they're not going to like do too much. If it's price, they're not going to do too much. That's what I've noticed with Manchester City. It hasn't always worked, but most of the time they do get it right. So I trust them to get it right this window. But I do think Gibbs White as the alternative to Florian Wirtz, as much as I like Gibbs White, don't think he's the right fit. I think he's better on the counter, like what Charlie said about Gyökeres for Arsenal. I think Gibbs White is better on the counter. Also think he's better deeper. I think he'd be a terrible Kevin De Bruyne replacement, as much as I think he's a good player. I think they need someone that's a bit more technical that can keep possession. I'm not saying Gibbs White isn't technical, but for example, let's say City had, this is complete hindsight what I'm about to say. Let's say City had a Morgan Rogers still in their academy and they were just bringing him through and stuff and he was trying his stuff and he was just coming through. That would be the perfect player to slot in if he was ready for first team football. You still go out and get a senior player, and Morgan Rogers is the guy who can learn off the senior number 10. But that would be a better situation for them to be in, because Morgan Rogers plays on a transition, but he's better at keeping the ball in advanced areas. Do Arsenal generally think they're getting Rodrigo or Williams? Even if you get Williams, it's like having a Spanish Martinelli. Like, just run with their head down, ADHD, teaching assistant needed. With Rodrigo, unrealistic. Rodrigo's not moving from Real Madrid to Arsenal. Rodrigo's a left winger, plays on the right because of Vinny. Yeah, better left winger than right winger. Doesn't really get to strike stuff. They will end up getting Rashford. I mean, I think that's the most obvious one because Rashford's returning to his parent club in Man United. He's going to go for 40 million. I can see Arsenal all over that.
What, over Rashford?
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God, no.
Yeah.
I do not want to see Marcus Rashford in an Arsenal shirt. No fucking way.
Such an Arsenal signing.
It is an Arsenal signing. I'm like, I haven't even put the tweet up yet, but I'm planning to put the fucking tweet up with that clip when Sterling signed. You're about to see the best of me. And I'll put that up and I'll be like, we waited for that.
Bro, Sterling to Arsenal was one of the funniest transfers because any sane person knew how that was going to work out. Any sane person. I knew that was going to be shocking.
That's up there with Yaya Sanogo. That's up there with Bebe. That's up there with Kim Kallstrom. That's up there.
I was going to say Kallstrom.
Yeah, like the Kallstrom deal didn't even make sense. We signed him. He had a broken back. He played one game for us. I think he scored in the penalty shootout against Wigan in the FA Cup semi-final. That's all he did.
Yeah, I remember actually. To be fair, Fernando Torres was also signed injured for Chelsea, but he just didn't tell anyone. He told the medical team to keep it quiet.
I think that's the funny situation because even Jamie Carragher said, like, when Chelsea came in for Torres, like they had a masterstroke when it came to putting up that 50 million release clause because everyone at Liverpool kind of knew that Torres was falling off. It was after the World Cup. He weren't really the same. Yeah, he scored a bracing in that game against Chelsea, but it weren't the same Torres. So that's why when Chelsea came in and spent that 50 million, Liverpool were kind of rubbing their hands together, but then they went and spent 35 of it on Andy Carroll. But
yeah,
that's by the by.
Yeah, big up to Villa fan. We addressed that in the start of the video, but big up as always. And I haven't seen you in a while, Villa fan. It's good to see you again. If you sign Rodrigo, it instantly becomes your best player. Yeah, Rodrigo would be a good signing, but that's why I don't think you joins because you guys don't sign good players. Well, and when you do, you don't know how to use them. Yeah, you don't know how to use them. Xabi Alonso also said that Rodrigo is a Real Madrid player, he's an amazing player, and we'll need him. There you go. I wonder what Alonso does with Real Madrid. He plays 5 at the back. I don't think he will last. I don't think he'll last 2 years. I think he's a great manager. I just think the jump from Leverkusen to Real Madrid does not make any fucking sense. You won one league title. DFB Pokal, whatever it's called. I think he won that last year. We lost the Europa League final. I think he goes too defensive in away games as well. I think he plays too many defenders. He sometimes I'm seeing him put 6 defenders on, or 7 defenders on in a fucking away match in the Champions League. I tried to watch Leverkusen a lot more in like the Champions League group stage, and I'm just thinking the way this guy approaches away games, I think he can be a good manager if he stops being like stubborn. But managers are stubborn in a modern game, even more so than how they used to be and stuff. Why would any good player want to join Arsenal at this point? Honestly, they don't win trophies. They barely challenge for trophies. The thing is, as well, my whole thing is, as a footballer, and footballers don't see it like us fans. So some footballers will go to Arsenal thinking, oh, well, at this point, Arsenal have missed out on so many title challenges. They're bound to win one day. But some other footballers are like, they've missed out on so many title challenges. Are they ever going to be serious about winning something? Cool, they beat Real Madrid, but they lost to PSG. Footballers will be watching how you played against PSG. And because it's on the Champions League big nights, it's important. Yeah, Wolfie alluded to that. The Conference League was below them. Wolfie, man. This is why you get cooked on these panel shows. This is why you get cooked. He didn't allude. He came out and said it. Fairs. I listened to his content to Fueled by Forest hate. Fucking hell. Not even trying at this point. What point do we acknowledge that Arsenal aren't a big club anymore? All they want is a handful of FA Cups over 20 years and they don't sign top players. I think me and Prem had discussed about this before, where there's a difference between like being a big club historically and then moving like a big club in the modern day. I feel like Arsenal have a move like that in the Emirates era. You guys don't go out and sign the top of the top. Like, I know there's so many stories about Arsene Wenger where, like, you was going to sign Kante and then you got Xhaka. Like, there's been so many that you could have signed Ronaldo. You could have signed FC. Like, that's what you guys are. You can make a whole starting 11 of the Highbury, back in the Highbury Emirates era, where you could have signed bare players. You could have signed Fabregas again.
We could have had Ibrahimovic, but we tried giving him a trial instead of signing him straight away.
Why the fuck are you giving Ibrahimovic a trial?
He said it himself. Zlatan does not do auditions.
Only Arsenal would give Zlatan a trial. This is like me trying to see if, like, Margot Robbie's the right one. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, I think Reinders is going to be the signing of the window. To be fair, I haven't watched much of him, so you lot, let me know what you think of Reinders, because I haven't watched much of AC Milan this year, I'll be real, and I do actually like watching Serie A. I just haven't had time this season. Big window ahead for Villa. I'm always interested to see what Aston Villa do in the transfer window, because you guys signed some gems, and I feel like Emery has done a really good job. I think now it's 3 seasons in a row for Villa in Europe as well, so big up to you, man. Because
they played in all European competitions in 3 seasons.
That's mad. I think Europa League could generally go on and win that, because you know what Emery's like. Emery
loves the Europa League.
Yeah, as with Sevilla and Villarreal. Mike thinks Somerville comes back the same player, or has he been cornered? I think he comes back the same player. I think he's at a point where he's still young enough to still have that spark. I think he loses still a little bit of pace, and I mean a little bit. But what I think will happen is that they'll watch him closer. I think he'll be, like, put back in the squad properly, rather than being rushed back and playing the wing-back position straight away, which requires too much running. I think he needs to be slowly integrated back. But I do also think we need to stop relying on, like, hoping that the injured player comes back decent and we go out and sign a proper left winger that can help him. Because I don't think Guilherme is going to get a chance anytime soon, unfortunately, even though I do think he's a talented player. At least you've got a decent chance of winning it. Yeah, like, I generally think being in these competitions, in any European competition, is a good thing. I think being in any European competition is a good thing, whether it's Conference League, Champions League, Europa League. You've got a great chance of winning any competition if you put your mind to it. As we've seen with Tottenham, Palace and Newcastle winning their trophies, and you've seen the parades that they're having, going for every trophy is important, even the cup competitions. Let's say you're not in Europe, go for the Carabao Cup, go for the FA Cup. All of these competitions are important, no matter what size of your club is. No matter what size of your club is, you should always try to be going for every single competition you're in, especially cup competitions. Literally anyone can win a cup competition. Literally anyone, if you just try. Don't throw cup competitions away, especially in your recent history when you haven't won it. That's why I get frustrated at West Ham all the time when we lose the FA Cup, especially. Obviously Carabao Cup as well, but especially in the FA Cup, especially because we have history in that cup, but it's years ago. It's something I've never seen before. It's funny when Chelsea side plays from Arsenal, it goes well, but when it's from Chelsea, they always flop. That's interesting as well, because when was the last time Chelsea signed a player from Arsenal and it flopped? I don't even know who the last person they signed from Arsenal was. Was it? No, it can't have been Ashley Cole.
I think it might have been.
Maybe. To be fair, who else have Chelsea signed from Arsenal directly?
Yeah, because I don't think you can't count Fabregas because he moved from he went from Arsenal to Barca then to Chelsea, so I don't think you can count Seth.
Big up Elijah as well.
I actually think the last time we signed Chelsea signed a player from Arsenal, it was Ashley Cole, and that was
Giroud apparently.
Oh, Giroud, my bad.
Yeah, I forgot about Giroud. Was directly signed from there.
He went to Chelsea in January 2018 because we got Aubameyang that January.
Yeah. Yeah, so
we got Giroud when Chelsea won the FA Cup, and then we got knocked out in the semi-finals of the Europa League that summer.
That's true. It's true. That was a young Zlatan at the time. To be fair, it was. But if you thought he was good enough for a trial, you should sign him.
I think even a young Zlatan is a good Zlatan. To be perfectly honest, I think this was what a Zlatan that was going on to Malmo at that point, and he was scoring goals. Then he went to Ajax, scored goals. I think any age of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I think you can look at as a quality player.
Yeah. Villa fan, I think it's that Chevrolet guy. I call him Chevrolet because I don't know his name, but it's that guy from Lille, the goalkeeper you're trying to get to replace Martinez.
Is Martinez definitely going?
Yeah, he said he's leaving apparently.
Is that why he did what he did against United yesterday?
No, I don't think that's why he did what he did. He's just being a bozo. But
bro didn't learn. Like he should have known it was Højlund running towards him. Like Højlund's never scoring. Like there was no need to run out.
Yeah, his name is Lucas at Villa fan. Yeah, Giroud. Big up to Yasser as well. Slap the likes, people. Man said fake fan. Slap the likes, people. Slap the likes, bro. Make sure to subscribe to Alfie as well. Links in the title, fam. Hutchinson actually, but he never played. Okay, so apart from Hutchinson, it was Giroud.
Yeah.
Because Hutchinson was just one of them ones where... Hutchinson technically one of the three, to be fair. I think.
Yeah, it was like an academy signing.
Yeah. So... Yeah, Giroud. There's got to be someone in... Oh, was it not... No, Gallas didn't sign from... He went from Chelsea to Arsenal. Diarra? No, Diarra went Chelsea to Arsenal. Bro, you might get fiddled with by Chelsea, you know. Like, you generally... Because I'm just thinking, it's all you. Jorginho... fucking
Havertz,
Petr Cech, Havertz. Did you directly sign Cech as well, bruv?
Yeah.
So Gallas cried. Jorginho was alright. He's alright. He's not a starter. He's not a needle mover.
Yeah. Cech basically said because his last season at Chelsea was this season that Courtois had. They won the league. And Cech turned around and said, "Listen, I'm not spending another season at this club where I'm only playing 10 games a season. Like, I'm not going to do that. I feel like I'm in good form." He's like, "I had 3 offers on the table. One of them's Arsenal. I want to go Arsenal." And he kind of, like, Agent Cech struck in Baku. Like, we all saw that. It was definitely Agent Cech. Like, there was no way. There's no way that happens. If I don't think I think we probably still lose that game in Baku, but I don't think we lose as badly if we had someone like Leno in goal, to be honest.
But it's also because Cech is fucking ancient at that point as well, like, bro.
Yeah.
He's literally ancient history. Like, he's literally dust. He's, like, as much as, like, mobile as, like, a fucking Winston Churchill statue, bro. Like, he's literally, at that point, he's not the same Cech with, he's just put on his protective headgear, and he's ready to do clean sheets and that. And to be fair, it's not even Agent Cech, it's Agent Arsenal, bro. You man do this to yourselves. The only one that was doing anything was Iwobi. That was when he came on. Will Still is going to plug out Southampton with French athletes. I only like Will Still, yeah, because I haven't watched one of his games yet, but he's a Football Manager player. I'm running different agendas here. I'm going to run that Football Manager agenda.
Football Manager. Bro made a career off of Football Manager, and now he's Southampton manager. Like, fair play to him.
And he's going to do well there if their ownership runs right, because their ownership's fucking terrible, let me tell you that. Their ownership are obsessed with youth. It's like they have their own Epstein project. Like, it's different there. They literally have their own Epstein project. The amount of times these men will go for youth when they need experience to survive in the Premier League. Southampton are going to be the new Norwich, where they will do so well in the Championship because of the players, then they just get relegated galore. They're becoming that, and that's because of the new ownership. I'm not saying the previous ownership was that good, but the new ownership, they're trying to make it presentable. Like, we're going for young players all the time. Like, you need a balance. If you have an old squad, blend the youth in. If you have a bare youth in your squad, get some experience. And when I mean experience, I don't even mean like 28, 32, 40, 34-year-olds, but players that have done it for years in their career. And no matter what age they are, you could be a 23-year-old that's experienced.
Yeah, at least 23 plus at that point when you're looking for experience.
Yeah. Like someone that's done it in a game. Like, technically, Bukayo Saka's an experienced player, for example, because he's 23, but he's played in the game a long time. Phil Foden's an experienced player because he's around that age as well, 24 or whatever, but he's an experienced player. He's been in the game now. Like, these are actually experienced players, funny enough. Obviously, these players are not accessible, but I'm just making it an example, for example. Hutchinson did play one game, and I think and then he got flipped. I remember Hutchinson coming on for Chelsea like one game before. He wanted to stay in London. No, it wasn't Agent Czech, it was Agent Giroud.
Oh, yeah, Giroud scored in that final as well, didn't he? Fuck's sake.
Thank you, Arsenal, and all that. Like, bro, you took the piss out of you, man. And to be fair, you might deserve that, because you would... I don't know about you, but man would disrespected Giroud. They were disrespected Giroud. I'm not saying he was sick for Arsenal or anything, but
I
maybe he just
Giroud.
didn't know how to use him.
I thought Giroud was class. I mean, fair enough, he didn't score as many goals as you would like a striker to, but the goals he did score were brilliant. I mean, we've all seen the scorpion kick against Crystal Palace. I remember the one game in the season, literally before he left, in that January, he scored a nice little overhead flick against Red Star Belgrade in the Europa League. Brilliant goal. Like, he was capable of good finishes, and we just disrespected him. I actually think Giroud would have done okay under Emery if we'd have kept him until at least January the following season when Emery came into the team. But no, we just disrespected him. Fed him off to Chelsea. He scored didn't he score in the FA Cup final?
What, against United?
Yeah.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
There you go. And he scored against us in Baku. So
yeah. Dave said Willian my goat. He speaks 3 languages as well. That's a strong personality. Will still, he sticks it on his players and lets them know he's the boss, keeps players on their toes. He's a good man manager from what I hear. I think he's made the right career move because even though he's gone to but he was at a big club not a big club, but you know what I mean, like a club that's competing quite high in Lons. He still made that move to Southampton because he was linked with Sunderland before, so he's very open to taking that kind of move in the Championship. It's good for your career to not jump into the Premier League quickly and then fail, and then what? And then when's your next move? And then are you willing to take the Championship move after you fail in the Premier League rather than doing a good job in France in your career? Because going from Reims to Lens was a good move, and then going from Lens to Southampton, even though it's a downgrade in terms of it's the second English league compared to the first French league, it's still a good opportunity. It's still decent. I think as long as he knows himself that he needs experience once he's in the Premier League, then cool. But what I do worry for Southampton is the fact that when they do get promoted back, which I do think they will, because the gap in the Championship is starting to get bigger and bigger, is Will Still is not a Premier League experienced manager, so he does not know how to stay up in the Premier League. I think he'll be less naive than Russell Martin, because at least with Will Still, he knows when to go defensive and counter compared to when to keep the ball. That's how he approach the games against PSG and stuff, watching how he likes to see football. But it's going to be interesting. I'm always interested in the Championship. I hope Southampton end up like Norwich in mid-table Championship, need more proper clubs in the Prem. The thing is, I don't mind Southampton. The reason why I don't mind Southampton is because it's still Barclays. They're still Barclays. We came up with them, so they're back end of Barclays. But I hear what you're saying. If it was if you could trade a good Stoke again, a good West Brom again for memories, I hear you. Sunderland are back, so that's good. But at the same time, I don't know. Jorginho, Willian, David Luiz, Petr Cech, Yossi Benayoun on loan, and Lassana Diarra were the last Chelsea to Arsenal ones. So,
I
I'll
completely
order
buy
those. Who
that.
succeeded?
I think when you look at it, I think the top two would probably be Jorginho and Petr Cech. Apart from that, the rest were dross.
Fair. Because, yeah, Jorginho was just a squad player as well.
Because then, what's it called? Lassana Diarra moved from Arsenal to Portsmouth, and then he got the move to Real Madrid.
Yeah. Said you were calling Giroud donkey and Lampos, man, came to Chelsea and won Europa League and Champions League. Yeah, he was a squad player in that. Do you know what? He was a squad player in the Champions League thing, but he stepped up when it mattered. Because he always used to come on as a sub and make an impact. I'm pretty sure he scored like a mad goal against Atleti. And it was that game specifically when I was like, they're going to win the Champions League. I wish I had a YouTube channel then, because I literally predicted that when they beat Atleti, I was like, these men are winning it. They look like the best team. And they did. Giroud will still be your best striker now. Well, I think most of us would be Arsenal's best striker now, to be fair. Like, they play Marino up front.
Definitely.
Yeah, Alfred Witt, for sure. He will lean on the likes of Lallana tactically. Lallana might leave on a free.
Yeah.
So even then, that's the experience that they need to keep. Like, I'd say throw him a 1-year contract instantly because they need that experience just real quick. They need 2 more years of Lallana where it's them kind of players that are going to keep you up in the Prem sort of thing. Like, for the next season. I'm not saying he has to play much, but just for around the block and stuff and keeping the culture of Southampton. West Ham need a left wing back if they go to back 5 and the back 7, even if they send a winger to play there. Do you know what, I haven't... Tell me about this Duckworth from Stuttgart, because I don't watch Stuttgart as much. I only watched them against Real Madrid this year, but I agree, even if they send a winger to play there, because Potter's always going to go 3 in possession. No matter, or 5 out of possession, even with him going attacking. We've seen wingers play a wing back before under Potter, like a March, like a Matoma, etc., or Trossard. So I'm hoping we do that more, rather than just like fullbacks and stuff. I think we're going to have one traditional fullback on one side, and one like winger on the other side. So we're going to have like Scholes and Wan-Bissaka will be like the traditional fullbacks, and then we have wingers, but then you have other players that can play fullbacks when we have to go more defensive and stuff. Strasbourg. Okay, so yeah, tell me about this Dak one, because I've never watched a Strasbourg game in my life. You just said Czech cost you a final. How could he have succeeded?
I'm not necessarily in terms of like what he did at the club, but in terms of like if you look at the players, fair enough, Jorginho's probably top of the list because of what he's done for the club. But in terms of like if you look at the players that have joined us from Chelsea, out of what they've done for Arsenal, I think you look at Jorginho and Czech as the more successful ones. Whereas if you look at the ones like Diarra, Ben Ayoun, Willian, David Luiz, they're all shite, costing us games. Like we didn't even see Willian score a goal until the end of the season. So I think in terms of how successful they were at Arsenal, yes, they may not have won trophies, but they were certainly a lot better than the others.
Yeah, Giroud won a World Cup without touching the ball. Bro, the French team is always mad, you know, because, like, bro, I remember him and Benzema were beefing. And then when Benzema and Deschamps were beefing, like, when, I think Benzema got injured in the last World Cup, and then he was going to come back, they were going to bring him back. And then, like, the squad was split into bringing Benzema back or not. I saw a report being like, Giroud was the one backing Benzema. I was like, this is a plot twist in the French Chronicles. Because these men do not like each other. They don't like each other at all. Like, they hate each other. They can't stand each other. Because I think Benzema compared himself from a Rolls Royce to a Formula 1 car or some shit. One of them said that shit. Like, I don't know who said it. Someone said it, not me, innit? So, I don't know who said it.
You agree with that person as well, though, innit?
I don't know who said it, innit? So, I can't agree with anyone at this current moment in time. Hope Paul goes to 5-2-3 and not 5-3-2. Yeah, I just hope he adapts to the situation but keeps his principles on the ball, but I think it will still be a 3-4-2-1, like, on the ball and stuff. Yes, Strasbourg, he was pretty tall, direct, left-footed winger. He played both sides this season, right and left. That seems like a kind of player we need, to be fair, than Damien. So, I'll take your word for it and hope we go in for him. Like, if we actually use our scouting network properly. In what sense was Czech successful?
Well,
was he a big part of your worst league finishes?
I mean, he was, but compared to Willian and David Luiz, he was a lot better than those two. I mean, fair enough, he dropped the odd clanger in goal, but apart from that, he was pretty sound. fair enough, he didn't give us any success, but like I said, he was a lot better than the worst ones.
Yeah. F1's a go-kart. Benzema said that. Oh, okay. So Benzema said he's F1 and Giroud said he said Giroud's go-kart. Crazy. Hey, what made them beef? What was the start of their beef? I don't even remember, you know.
France are always beefing, man. Like, you remember the 2010 World Cup?
Who beefed then? Oh, with Anelka.
Anelka, the squad was on the verge of mutiny. Like, they were out with, like, what, a game left?
Yeah.
They went home. They went home in the group stage. A group contained Uruguay, South Africa, and Mexico. They finished bottom of that group, I think.
Yeah. So, like, joy is Belgium are another one, you know. I don't think I know Courtois and De Bruyne, but I don't think De Bruyne and Vertonghen like each other or some shit. Because I remember De Bruyne coming out and talking about other players in the squad, like jabbing them in an interview, and then Vertonghen kind of responded to him in another interview. So I don't think the Belgium squad that well so-called golden generation or anything. I don't think any of them man liked each other. Do you know what? I can tell some of them man did not like Lukaku in it because Lukaku probably thought he was from the US.
So
You know where I'm from, dog.
Streets. No, that's Kentucky.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Lukaku thinks he's like that. Lukaku thinks he's Dempsey, bruv. Dempsey released a rap project. Lukaku wanted to rap. Why is Lukaku going in the booth and rapping Jay-Z bars? Looking at his phone.
None of my friends speak. We all trying to win.
But those are Jay-Z bars. Like, he made that sound shit. He made that sound so shit. That's Jay-Z bars.
At least
that's why delivery is so important.
Dempsey's song was his own. Like, Don't Tread was his own.
Yeah. Pogba's still an influencer, not a footballer. No one's signing him at his current moment in time. I don't know what's going on there, to be fair. But apparently he's had offers from his agent. I don't know. Like, apparently his agent said he's had offers. But to be fair, I think the whole influencer, not a footballer thing at Man United was overdone, to be honest. They used him as a scapegoat. Fair enough, he didn't give us any success. So he wasn't successful.
He wasn't successful, Charlie, but at the same time, he did a lot better than the others. Like, he did a lot better than a Willian. He did a lot better than a David Luiz. He did a lot better than a Yossi Benayoun or a Lassana Diarra. Like, he wasn't successful in terms of his time at Arsenal, but he could have done a lot worse, if that makes sense.
Fair enough. KDB said the squad was too old, and Vertonghen responded by saying they were a point of contention within the team. So, I do what I rate about Dave, yeah. He's either remembered that or gone and researched it, which either way, big up to Dave. Because I remember seeing, that was the same World Cup. By the way, that was the World Cup, yeah. Obviously where Argentina won, but like, where Lukaku came on against Morocco and had one of the worst cameos I've ever seen in my life. He missed like 3 sitters back to back. That was one of the worst, like, substitutions I've ever seen in my life. Pick up this side, hold that second, Alfred. He's a Liverpool fan. You sausage, hold, you BTEC bottlers.
Now, you know what? I'm not even mad. Like, fair play to Liverpool. They've run away with the league title this season, and all credit to them. Like, Arne Slot's done fantastically with the team that he has. Didn't really need to spend much because it was already a ready-made title-winning team. So all they needed to do was just find a new style of play and run with it, and that's exactly what they did. Fair play to them for winning the league title. No disrespect to them whatsoever. I just kind of wish we'd done the same.
Man said AI is saviour. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I forgot about like them Google AI things. By the way, I tweeted this, yeah. Whoever made that Meta AI thing on WhatsApp, yeah, you're a virgin. And the reason why I say that is because people are spamming Meta AI in some of the group chats I'm in, and it's fucking jarring to have as a notification, bruv. You're talking to AI on a group chat, bruv. Like, what the hell? Man said your kid is shit. Tarzan looking like, big up Alfred. Hold that. Alfred is a top class waffler. What do you actually make, yeah, of Liverpool winning the Premier League, Palace winning FA Cup, Tottenham winning Europa League, Newcastle winning Carabao Cup? Obviously, you're not in the Europa League, but also PSG or Inter winning the Champions League. But you've seen all these English teams that have either broken a streak in terms of that specific trophy or their trophy drought in general. Does all of this put pressure on Arteta, do you think? Like,
100%.
I think because I know the fans like you have been putting pressure on Arteta, but it feels like the club aren't. It feels like we never see the pressure from the club or any inside source.
No, we never see it because there's a lot of fans out there that care more about Arteta and his mental health than they do about the club. I mean, I was watching the Women's Champions League final on Saturday. They had all the fucking Arteta in lot. They're trying to claim the Champions League, but you care more about Arteta than you do the actual club. So don't try and claim that. Whereas me, on the other hand, I care about this club. I love this club. I'm not being funny. If we're going to be successful, you don't see any other team, any other top team, compete in phases. When are you seeing Liverpool talking about phases? When are you seeing Man City talking about phases? Fair enough, Spurs are doing it and they've won the Europa League. Fair play to them. You can have your success, but it just mounts the pressure on Arteta 10 times more because we're sat here now, 5 years since our last trophy. We've spent £750 million and got nowhere. We've bought a load of dross in. We haven't got the players that we needed to get rid of out. And it just feels like at this point, he doesn't seem like the man to take us over the line. But we need Arsenal fans like me, Arsenal fans that care about the club, have been crying for a trophy for 5 years now. And we're looking for something different than an FA Cup. Fair enough, the FA Cup's a good trophy to win. It's a brilliant domestic trophy. But if you want to be recognised as a big club, not only in your own country, but in Europe as well, you need to go out and win a Premier League. You need to go out and win a Champions League to have any sort of respect. As far as I'm concerned, we're not a big club. We are not a big club. The only way that changes is with silverware. And I don't think this manager's good enough to give us silverware. Right now, we're getting those plastic spoons.
Well, the white ones you get from canteen and stuff.
Yeah, the ones that just snap. Yeah, them ones.
Fuck's sake. But I'm seeing your fans say that these trophies don't matter though. The Europa League is beneath you because you're not in it.
That's what pisses me off because we were in a position to win the Europa League in 2019 and we bottled it in Baku. We did the same the year before. We lost to Atletico. You look back to 2019-20 season, we got knocked out by Olympiacos. The season after that, losing to Villarreal in the semi-final. We've been close to winning these trophies on multiple occasions. And then as soon as we go out, those same fans that are constantly piping up, oh yeah, the Europa League's beneath us. I've told the story many times about how I was at the Carabao Cup final in 2018, and I had Arsenal fans sat next to me going, oh, don't worry, it's only the League Cup. This is a trophy we have not won since 1993. I don't care whether it's a League Cup. I don't care whether it's an FA Cup. A trophy's a trophy, no matter how you look at it. I was watching the Conference League final in 2023 when you guys won. Fair play. You did brilliantly that game. And you fully deserved the trophy. And I understood the celebrations because you hadn't won anything for so long. Same with Palace. They haven't won a trophy ever. They've just beaten Man City in an FA Cup final. Same with Newcastle. They went 73 years or something without a trophy, beating Liverpool in a cup final. Exactly. Yeah. All these teams ending their trophy drafts. Meanwhile, ours is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the same fans are still sat there saying we're a big club. Prove it. You haven't got the silverware to back it up. It's like a flat gal telling me she's got bunda. No, it ain't there.
What, Toshiba?
Yeah, Toshiba. Yeah.
Don't do that. Mike Alfred was twerking for Arteta not long ago. He's a top gooner. You a top gooner?
No. I'm a realist.
You can't care about the club when you're self-proclaimed player FC. Arteta on his... I was about to say Arteta. Alfred on his knees for Arteta. Giving him the hot...
Hey, yo.
Alfred was Arteta in a few months back, and now pretending he holds his club to a level.
Right. Now, let me clear this up quickly. I said I was Arteta in, providing he won me a trophy. This season for me was make or break. Fair enough, we got close the past 2 seasons. We got close to winning the league. The 93% season, the season where we lost it on the final day to City. I was like, fair enough. Throw my hands up to that. I said this season, and we sat here at the start of the season. I said, if he doesn't win me a trophy, I want him gone. And that's why when we lost against Newcastle in the first leg in the Carabao Cup, I was Arteta out, and I've been that way ever since. I even said that if he gave me a Champions League trophy, I'd still want him gone. Leave on a high.
Did say that, but and this
Yes,
has nothing to do with it.
Yes, I know. I also said that I'd take Saka over a Premier League, but that was a mistake on my part.
I don't think you realise what you said because you just love Saka. I don't think you realise that, bro. Like, I would sell my whole family members for a fucking Carabao Cup, bro. Like, I would sell everything. I would sell everyone, bro. Like, but like it's different, isn't it? But it's, at the same time, like a player or a trophy, that's just like it's simple. Especially a trophy you've been trying to win. The whole point is like the judge in it. Like if you sell this player, you win a trophy. I'm not saying Saka's not the problem, but that was the point, isn't it? Yeah. Like to be fair, what I will say as well, I think this was our hope, and you even admitted this was our hope at the time. I remember I think this was the first ever GVO show. It might have been before it was officially the GVO show. We did like predictions sort of thing, like who do you think's going to win the league? And you said Arsenal. But it was our hope, innit? So when you reflect back on it now, it's a bit mad, innit? Because you weren't anywhere near, really. Are we even first in the league at any point?
I don't think we were, no.
So we've discovered with Arsenal, no matter if they're chasing the league or if they're first in the league and they're so-called favourites, you might don't know how to win a league regardless, whether you're trying to chase or not. Because we know that, for example, Man City thrive more on them having a competitor where they can chase someone. Liverpool, we've only seen them win a league where nobody's chasing them, really.
Yeah.
So but they don't drop off. But once Liverpool are there, they don't drop off. Arsenal, we haven't seen you overtake anyone, and we haven't seen you keep your first league position. We've not seen either. We don't know what you are as a club. We don't know what your identity is in your mentality. Top one Arteta lover. Alfie, bro, enjoy the summer. Next season you'll win everything according to the mutants and end up with fuck all again. Big up to RS12. You have no standards. Phase 999. Alfie basically said the Prem matters less than Zuckerberg and Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, no, I'll hold my hands up for that mistake. Like, I admit I was wrong for that. Like, but then again, I do have an affinity to a player like Saka because he's come through the U team and he knows what it means to play for Arsenal. But I do agree that when it comes to keeping a player or winning a trophy should be the priority.
Yeah, never let emotion get in the way of players. Like, I know people. I know what Charlie's gonna say now because of me and fucking Antonio or something. Even though I've criticised Antonio and said he should go and stuff, I'm not gonna get into this conversation, Charlie, before you say it because I know what you're like. But at the same time, I've said I would, bro. If Bowen played shit for the next 2 seasons, bro, I'd be looking at him differently. If Noble was moving mad and started cussing out the fans or whatever, I would have cussed him. I was cussing Declan Rice when he was here. Not because of his performances, but a couple of his interviews. Because Declan Rice was borderline flawless when it came to fucking performances. This man was I couldn't believe we had Declan Rice. But I would, if you had told me you'd sell them for a league or any trophy, I'm selling them. Because we get too enjoyed as fans when it comes to academy players because we feel like it's one of us playing.
Yeah.
But realistically, no player is more important than a trophy. Even Thierry Henry, bruv. Right, Thierry Henry's one of your best players ever. Well, in the Premier era. Because I don't know your history like that. But at the same time, if Thierry Henry left and you went to win a trophy, you're not going to care about Thierry Henry leaving. That's my point. Like, when you're in the parade, you're lifting the Premier League, you're not going to care that Saka's not there anymore. Because you've just seen the Premier League, like, sort of thing. Like, that's what I was trying to say at the time. Only Arsenal fans think Arsenal is a big club. He's a realist goon and then D1 crash out. You got the second place trophy, allow that. But you got to UCL semi-final. Thoughts on Abby Summers getting exposed? Basically there was this Tottenham fan, some female Tottenham fan, and basically people just looked through her old tweets and stuff. I don't know why, but the old tweets are mad, and she apologised.
I did hear that, what's it called, Bonnie Blue got kicked out of the away end at the City Ground yesterday.
Yeah, the clout chaser. But with Abby Summers, the whole Abby Summers thing is stupid, because she shouldn't have tweeted what she tweeted, but why are you bringing it up now? Like, I don't get the whole old tweet thing. Because, like, you're bringing it up, like, 7 years later, 10 years later. I doubt they're the same person that they were 10 years ago in terms of tweets. Like, so I don't think it's... And also, bringing it up just because you don't like the team they support, like... It's not a good reason to bring it up, sort of thing. If she had said something political or some shit, and you brought back their old political tweets, it would be at least understandable.
Yeah.
I know Melon approves. You can't... I said Melon approves of the racismo. You give him a 4-year pass on winning nothing. Alfred is Saka sexual. Saka only does it against giant Ipswich. Can never be my star player. Like your bird repeatedly cheating on you for the 5th time. You finally want to prick up. Still a cuck. Souček over Saka. Souček is clutch. Saka ain't. We have 2 league titles in 5 years. Show some respect, Mikes. Listen, I wasn't disrespecting Liverpool. I'm just saying. Listen, I'll snap you up, little bro. Your team already snaps my team up, bruv. But nah, I was just saying, like, we've seen Liverpool keep their place, sort of thing, when it comes to them being first, even though you haven't had any competitors. At least you don't, like, bottle it to the point where Arsenal's cashing up and then overtaking you, sort of thing.
I do want to say, though, like, fair enough, they've romped away with the league title this season, and all credit to them. Don't you think they're kind of milking it with the Guards of Honour now? Like, they've had how many? They had one against Chelsea, the initial one. They had one against us, and then they had another one yesterday against Palace. Fair enough, it was the same day that they won the trophy, but that's 3 Guard of Honours.
I hear you.
No other team's getting 3 Guard of Honours when they win the league.
I'll be real. I do kind of agree, because I've never seen it before, but I only a little bit understand it, only because it's the first game they won the league against Chelsea, cool, I get it. Then it's the first home game since they won it, cool, I get it. But this is the time you're winning the trophy, and you're coming up against another team that's just won another trophy. So it does make sense.
I do have to say, though, what they did yesterday, massive respect to them, because they got a Guard of Honour off Palace, and then they gave Palace a Guard of Honour for winning the FA Cup, so...
Yeah, they should have just got a room and just shagged.
Yeah, pretty much.
Saka, when he bought it, Penn versus West Ham, Euros final PSG game. Hey, bro, that 2-2 is such a weird game, because I refused to go to that game because Moyes cussed out the fans after us losing to 5-1 to Newcastle. Bro, I swear I'm a curse. I swear to God I'm a curse. Alfred on his knees for Saka. I reckon Arsenal win something next year? Nah. They don't move correctly in the transfer window. We say this every year, Damien. I promise you, Arteta doesn't know how to get over finals. He doesn't even know how to get over semis. Pause. You said Antonio should be given another contract because you don't want to see him leave in a car crash. I said if there's a chance where you can give him an extra year and you don't up his wages, or he takes a pay cut, unless you're going to say goodbye now and then, like, do you know when we had at the last home game when we said goodbye to, like, Cresswell and stuff? Unless that was the goodbye, then at least let him rehabilitate, so then say leave. Or what you do, because he ain't at the level, you just give him like a 4-month thing where he's rehabilitating and he's not in your plans anymore, which I understand. Then you say thanks for everything, but you can leave. I think that's a fair trade. Me personally, maybe that extra year is a bit mad, but I never said that extra 2-3 years. The guy's like 40. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But we're going on for 1 hour 18 now. So big up to everyone here. Gonna end it here. It's been a great chat. Alfie, links in the title. What you got coming up?
Yeah. Obviously, I've got the Conference League watch along on Wednesday between Chelsea and Betis, and then Saturday we'll have the Champions League final watch along between PSG and Inter. So a couple of more watch alongs, and then probably either during this week or next week I'll be going live doing like a season review. Might try and see if we can get a couple of other people on to chat about the Arsenal season. Might try and get hold of Josh and that, but apart from that, there's not really much coming up. And as for socials, you can follow me at Alfie_YT on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe to Alfie, people. Like, trying to get to 500 before the end of the year. As for me, I've got just bare uploads coming up. I'll have probably a tier list video about West Ham players tomorrow, and just random shit coming up. Random shit. I'm always shooting out uploads, so just watch out, people. We've got a couple lives during the week as well, so just keep an eye on the community page as well. Also, subscribe to Mike's Reacts as well. Trying to get that to 100 as quickly as possible. We'll have mainly a music channel, so if you like your music, go and subscribe. But yeah, big up to Damien, big up to Charlie, big up to Dave as well, big up to Josiah, big up to Nearsighted, big up everyone that's been in the chat, bruv. This chat has been, music Q&A will be this week, sometime this week on the Mike's Reacts channel. But I'm going to have better uploads on that channel, so keep an eye out. We're starting uploading regularly on that as well. I ain't got time to be running 2 channels, but I'm trying my best. Listen, make sure to smash the like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care and peace.